Sri Lanka recorded more revenue from tourism and workers' remittances in November last year. Workers' remittances increased to $384 million during November 2022 compared to $355 million in October, recording the highest monthly remittances so far during the year 2022. Tourism earnings in November 2022 also increased to $81 million, which is a $26 million increase compared to $55 million earned in October.
According to the central bank report on the external sector performance during November 2022, earnings from merchandise exports declined by 17.9% over November 2021 to $994 million, recording a slight decline for the third consecutive month on a month-on-month basis. While declines in earnings were observed across all main categories, industrial exports mainly contributed to the contraction in earnings. However, cumulative export earnings during January and November 2022 increased by 6% over the same period in the last year to $12 billion, which was mainly driven by a 9.4% improvement in industrial exports amidst a decline in agricultural and mineral exports. Meanwhile, expenditure on merchandise imports declined by 18.1% in November last year to $1.4 billion compared to $1.7 billion in November 2021. According to the central bank, the decline in expenditure on investment goods mainly contributed to the decline in the import expenditure. Cumulative import expenditure from January to November 2022 amounted to $16.8 billion, which is a reduction compared to $18.3 billion recorded in the corresponding period in 2021. The deficit in the merchandise trade account narrowed to $450 million in November 2022 compared to the deficit of $553 million in November 2021. The cumulative deficit in the trade account during January and November 2022, meanwhile, recorded at $4.8 billion, a decline from $7 billion over the same period in 2021. The CBSL also reported that the workers' remittances increased to $384 million during November 2022 in comparison to $355 million in October 2022, recording the highest monthly remittances thus far during 2022. Total departures for foreign employment were recorded at 25,376 during the month of November last year. Tourist arrivals increased notably in November 2022 to 59,759 from 42,026 arrivals recorded in October 2022. According to the CBSL, Russia, India, Germany, the United Kingdom and Australia remained the main source countries for tourist arrivals during the month, earning an income of $81 million. Tourism earnings in November is a $26 million increase compared to $55 million earned in October.